In today's video, we are diving into outliner applications, and this has been a hard one because it is really hard to find different outliner applications, but I think I found a couple that I think a lot of people will enjoy using. And the first one, which is Tools that you see right in front of me, it is a little hard because it isn't necessarily an outliner. It is kind of an outliner, and uh, I decided to include it anyways because I just think that it is really good, and I struggled to find like another place or another video to include it in because I felt like it was more an outliner than it was anything else. But feel free to disagree with that one. Actually, feel free to disagree with everything I'm saying. It is just my personal opinions. But let's jump into Tools right here. And basically, the way this application works is that you create lists. You also get daily lists, but you can create lists and they function a little bit like folders. So if I press new list here, you can also use keyboard shortcuts. I don't use keyboard shortcuts in any application. So that is it is just something I do not do, but let's do a test list right here. I am currently uh, using another account, a dummy account, because my personal account has a new feature which is coming out soon. It is probably out or soon to be out by the time this video gets out. But I can't show that quite yet. So stay tuned for that feature. It is coming really, really soon. But basically, you create a list here. You can give that list emoji. That is actually a new feature they've added, and you can then add bullet points right here. And you can change this up to be a bullet, a dash, a to do, a number, a sublist, a divider, and even a note for longer form writing. I have mostly been using this for like basic journaling and to-do list management and things like that. So it is a really basic application, but you can actually turn it into becoming more of an all-in-one application. So let's say I wanted to have my social media ideas, I wanted them to be here. I could actually do that, then press Command K, and I would create a sublist, and then my list would live in another list. And another cool thing is that you can actually turn this list into either a grid view or a board view. That is a literal Kanban board inside of this application. As I said, you have the daily list for doing like daily task management, notes, things you want to remember. But this is supposed to be an application that helps you remember things. It is free with an optional subscription, which I'm actually paying for. But if you don't want to pay for the optional subscription, you can get all of the features by collecting coins and purchasing upgrades on the mobile application. And basically, which means that it is basically free. But all of the features, like for example, highlighting things, is available on the web. It is only on the mobile app that you have to pay either through the coins or actually pay for the optional subscription, which I am doing. So that is the first one, and it is called Tools. Next up, we have something I would call more of an note taker, more of a PKM application, more of something people are used to seeing. This is Logseq, and Logseq is really similar to something like Obsidian, but the major difference is that Logseq is a real outliner. And when I say that this is a real outliner and Tools was not, is simply because this allows you to create a bullet point, and then you can add a bullet point within a bullet point, and I can jump into the next bullet point, and I can do that one more time, and I could go on like this forever, and it will show up like this. So you can have bullet points within other bullet points. Apart from that, this also has daily pages. It has a whiteboarding feature. It has um, flashcards. It has actually everything you would want and probably a little bit more. So here we have the whiteboarding feature. You have flashcards, which I haven't actually tested out because I never use flashcards. You have a graph view and you have all pages right here. Apart from this, what makes Logseq a really good application is the fact that you can add plugins. So they have a plugin ecosystem. So let's say you wanted task management and better task management inside of Logseq. You could actually add that using the plugins. There are quite a few of them. I've tested out a calendar, some to-do list ones. There are a lot of different ones you can test out. The search in this is really good, and it is also a local first application. So all of your files are stored locally on your device. You can pay for syncing, but I am calling it a free app because if you don't want to pay for syncing, you can use third-party syncing options like iCloud Drive, for example, which has been the one I have been using when I've tested out both Logseq and Obsidian, and it has worked great. Even from an iPhone to a Windows application, it has worked great. So that is Logseq. This is probably the most powerful one if you take away like AI abilities, and it is also the most flexible one with the plugin ecosystem. So not necessarily the most powerful one, but it is definitely the most flexible one. The next one on the list is actually called workflowy, and workflowy is also just a simple outliner application. So I can do a test bullet, I can jump into that bullet, and I can add more bullets, and I could go on like this forever. But it has a couple of added benefits. It is actually quite similar to twos. It is becoming quite similar to twos. So I can press this right here. I can then add bullets, headings, paragraphs to do board, quote, or code block. So let's say I wanted to add this, turn this into a board. I could actually create myself a Kanban board right here, just as I talked about in twos, and I can actually drag things. I can also jump into these bullets right here. So it is an outliner application with added functionality. Actually, all of these are outliner applications with added functionality. So you could create a couple of more nodes. They are actually called nodes, not nodes. And it is quite simple to get started with. And as you go forward, you can actually start using all of these. You can also use something like a paragraph to do longer form writing, for example. But mainly, I have used it for bullet points and nesting bullet points within bullet points. Another cool thing that I have seen inside of this application. So let's say I had to take out the trash. That is my favorite to-do list item. So let's say I had to take out the trash and I wanted this to live in multiple places. I can actually do backslash and I can do something called mirroring. So I can press mirror here. As you can see, there are quite a few things you can do with this application, but let's do mirror here like this. And let's actually mirror home here, or I could mirror take out trash here. So let's do that one more time. Mirror, wrong one. Let's do that one more time. So mirror here. Let's do take out trash, press enter, and you have it right there. And just like with Logseq, you have the ability to do backlinking. I think that is double square brackets inside of here, like this. And you can also, as I showed you, mention people by doing an @ symbol. So it offers a lot for a simple outliner application, and the pricing isn't too bad. It is $9 each month on the monthly plan, or if I now turn this into the yearly plan or the annual plan, it is $6.99. It has a free plan, but the monthly bullet limit will probably be an issue if you take a lot of notes and if you are going to use this as your second brain. So I recommend the pro plan, and $6.99 isn't terrible. So that is workflowy for you. Then we have Rome Research. I haven't paid for this for a while now, and that is because I think the pricing is too expensive. So if I jump into my pricing here, it is either 15 or $165, which is 13.75 each month, which I think is a little expensive for an application like this. So I haven't actually ever paid for this. I have tested out the free trial just to test out the application because that is everything this app has. Uh, it doesn't have a real free plan, but I have a daily page right here. We have a graph view. We have our notes here, which is pages. And again, you can add bullets within bullets. What my thoughts about Rome is that it is a really powerful application, but for the last period, it hasn't had any like major new features, and that is really annoying for a lot of its user base because it is starting to feel a little old, especially the UI is feeling a little old, but it is still a great option if you are looking for a simple outliner application because this is actually quite simple. It doesn't have all of the bells and whistles of many of the other applications, but that is kind of the main point. As I said, this is the one I haven't like really used. I've tested it out a couple of times, but I haven't really used it. And that is mainly because of the pricing. But I think it is a good option. I think a lot of people will enjoy this. I just feel like it is really expensive for what you are getting, which is a simple note taking app. But on the other hand, if you want a distraction free environment without all of the bells and whistles, and you are like me and you struggle a bit with staying focused, actually paying a little bit more for getting something simpler might be worth it. But that is at least Rome Research for you. The last one, which is also the newest one, is an object-based note-taking app. So here you actually create super tags, which turns into databases. But this is also a note-taking outliner application because I can jump into here, for example, and then I will find my bullet points, and I can actually jump into the next one as well. And I can jump into it has a readwise integration, so I can jump into here as well, and I can see my highlights. I can go into my to-do list, and I can see my to-do lists in different views right here. So let me just remove the filters. Here you see all of my to-dos. Basically, what you do here is that you create a node or a bullet point, and then you give it a super tag, which you can configure. And then when you have given it a super tag, you can actually turn these into databases. If it sounds really complex, it is because it is a little complex and you might need to spend a little bit of time learning the application, which is one of the issues with this application and in general object-based note taking. But I can turn then these super tags into databases with different views and properties. And that basically explains what this application does. It also has a lot of AI, but that comes with a price. So it has a pricing plan of $14 or $18 billed monthly. 14 is billed yearly. It is pricey, especially because this application doesn't have a full-fledged mobile app. It only has a mobile capture application. A full-on mobile app is said to be out soon, so it might be out by the end of this, or by the time this video comes out. But as of right now, as of me filming this video, there is no mobile app. But you get a lot of AI. You get an AI meeting assistant, you get custom AI agents, you get live transcriptions, voice recordings, audio enabled super tags. You get a bunch of stuff You also get AI chat. I don't think I mentioned that. Maybe I did. Anyways, you get a lot of AI stuff. That is my point. So I tend to say that it is pricey, but it is worth it because AI is quite expensive. And you are getting a lot of it with this application. But I would love for them to actually create a mobile app, a fully fledged mobile app quite soon. But that covers it for the outliners. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so, so much for watching.